Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the digestive system in Asterias. This is the digestive system which is represented in the figure, and as the starfish having the two surfaces, one is a oral surface and another one is a aboral surface. On the oral surface there is a mouth, and at the end on the aboral surface there is a anus. In between these two, all the digestive organs are there, that is mouth, then esophagus, then stomach, and then intestine, then rectum, and all, and the last one is the anus. Means the basic plan of the digestive system in Asterias, it resembles with the other organisms. The digestive system in Asterias, it includes the alimentary canal and the digestive glands. The alimentary canal is a digestive tract extending from oral side to the aboral side. This is the oral side where the mouth is situated, and this is the aboral surface where the anus is situated. Then it is a straight and much shortened due to the flattening of body, and it is considerably modified. The first part in the digestive system is the mouth. The mouth, that is the it is present on the oral surface, and it is situated in the center of the peristomial membrane. That mouth is also called as a peristome, or it is an opening through which the food is taken. It is provided with a sphincter muscle and radial muscle fiber, and this mouth, it is capable of great expansion and reduction. And this mouth ultimately leads into the next structure, and that we called it as a esophagus. What is the esophagus? That mouth leads into the upward short wide expansion, and that is called as a what? The esophagus. And after this esophagus, this leads into the what? Voluminous part, and that we called it as a stomach. And this stomach, it is divided into how many parts? Two distinct parts. The one part where the heart is situated, that is toward the oral end, and that we called it as a cardiac stomach. And the another part of the stomach which is towards the aboral end, and that we called it as a pyloric stomach. Means in these Asterias, the stomach, it is differentiated into two parts. One is called as a cardiac stomach, and another one is called as a pyloric stomach. Where this cardiac stomach is located, it is toward the oral surface, and the pyloric stomach, it is toward the what? The aboral surface. The cardiac stomach, it is a voluminous, it is very large and thin walled, and it is a five-lobed muscular sac-like structure. It is a five-lobed sac-like structure, and it is called as a cardiac stomach. Each of its lobe lies opposite one of the five arms. The wall of cardiac stomach is much more folded, and this cardiac stomach, it can be everted out through the mouth when animal is feeding. In this diagram, when the animal is feeding, it can evert out or eject out entire cardiac stomach. That is, the stomach extends out of the body. Means the cardiac stomach is so folded, and whole body of it can be everted through the mouth while the animal is in feeding conditions of the muscles of the body wall. The retraction of the cardiac stomach is brought about by the five pairs of the retractor muscles arising from the lateral sides of ambulacral ridges. Means from the lateral side of the ambulacral ridges, there are the what? The five pairs of retractor muscle. They bring back the cardiac stomach into that original position. In each arm or radius, the cardiac stomach is attached to where? It is attached to the ambulacral ridge by such two muscles. That is the retractor muscles. that is the this is the retractor muscles, and the what the again the protrusible cardiac stomach is glandular and sacculated, and it secretes a mucus. So this is the cardiac stomach. It is much more voluminous, and it is a what the five-lobed muscular sac-like structure. It can be everted throughout the mouth during the feeding. What happens during the feeding? The retraction of the cardiac muscles, it occurs by the what the five pairs of the retractor muscles which arises from the ambulacral regions. Okay. Next one is a what? The pyloric stomach. After the cardiac stomach, the next thing is a what? The pyloric stomach. And aborally it is situated, and cardiac stomach it communicates with the pyloric stomach, and it communicates with the, it is a small that is a star shaped or pentagonal sac, and each angle of pyloric stomach is drawn out radially into duct and enters the corresponding arm and branches to form a pair of large appendages, and these are called as a pyloric cecum or pyloric ceca. Means what happens from this pyloric stomach, or each angle of pyloric stomach is drawn out radially, that is in this radially or in this radial canal, that it brings out radially the what the structures or small structures and or the branches to form a pair of large appendages, and these are called as a pyloric ceca, or it is also called as a hepatic ceca, and these are also called as gastric glands or digestive glands. And these pyloric ceca, these are supposed to secrete the what? The enzymes which are helpful for the digestion. Thus, there are the five pairs of pyloric ceca. One pair of pyloric ceca in each arm. Like this, in each arm, there will be the pair of the pyloric ceca, and therefore, the five pairs of the pyloric ceca will be there. Then, extending right up to its tip, and it suspended from the aboral wall of the arm by two longitudinal measures. Means this run or the pyloric ceca, it runs up to the end or the terminal end of the arm. Then each pyloric cecum is hollow. This pyloric ceca, how it is? It is a hollow axis or stem. It gives off laterally two series of small hollow branches, and each terminating into the lobules of green color, and these are called as a pyloric ceca. Means after the cardiac stomach, the next one is a what? The pyloric stomach, and this pyloric stomach it runs radially out into the duct which forms a what? That is a pyloric ceca or the digestive gland, or the what? The hepatic ceca or gastric gland, and these are supposed to secrete the digestive enzymes which are helpful in the digestion process. Then the pyloric ceca and pouches greater constitute the digestive glands comparable to the vertebrate pancreas. Means this pyloric ceca or hepatic ceca, these are comparable to the pancreas of the vertebrate which secretes insulin. The epithelium of these pyloric ceca, it secretes the digestive juices and stores the nutrient. The digestive juice contains three fermenters which can convert the proteins into peptones, then starch into sugars, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Likewise, the what that is the invertebrates. Means the digestive juice of this gland or hepatic ceca, it comprises of what? The enzymes which can convert the proteins into peptones, that is a simpler form, starch into the simpler sugars, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. The lining of epithelium of the ceca is composed of tall flagellated cells. Means epithelium of this pyloric ceca is having the tall flagellated cells which are of four types or four kinds. The first one is the current producers, which bear the longer flagella and maintain the steady circulation of fluid and digested food in the cavities of ceca. Then second one is the mucus cell. It produces the mucus. Then third one, the secretory or glandular cells that secretes the enzymes. And the last one, that is the storage cells that stores the reserve foods such as lipid, glycogen and polysaccharide protein complex. So the epithelium of this pyloric cica having the four types of the flagellated cells. First one having the longer flagella, it maintains the steady circulation of fluid and the digested food in the cavities of cica. Then mucus cell, it produces the mucus. Then secretory or glandular cell, it secretes the enzymes or digestive enzymes. And storage cells, it helps in the store of the reserve food material such as lipid, glycogen and the polysaccharide protein complexes. The next one is a what? The intestine. In this diagram, you can observe the what, that is a mouth. Then this is a voluminous part, that is a cardiac stomach. Then this is a pyloric stomach, and this pyloric stomach, it gives up radially the what, that is a pyloric cecum. And from this pyloric cecum, these are the what, that is a hepatic ceca, or that is the pyloric ceca. Then and it runs up to the what, that is the ending of the arm, or the at the end of the up to the arm. Then next to this, that is a what? The intestine. Where this intestine, that is, this is about, it is also called as a rectal cecum. The from the pyloric stomach ascends, that is move upward, that is move towards the aboral side. A short, broad, and five-sided intestine. How is the intestine? It is a five-sided intestine which gives off two or three little hollow diverticula. This is the diverticula of the what? Intestine. This is the diverticula. This is the intestine, that is a five-sided intestine, and it gives up two or three diverticula or hollow diverticula called as a intestinal or rectal cecum. These diverticulum, these are called as a rectal cecum. This is a rectal cecum which comes out from the what, that is the intestine. Before opening at the anus, situated eccentrically on the aboral surface. Eccentrically means toward the center. Means before opening to the anus, there is a what? Intestine which is situated near the center, that is eccentrically on the aboral surface. The intestinal cecum or this rectal cecum or intestinal cecum, which are three or the two or three hollow diverticula, these are brown in color and also secrete a brown fluid which is probably excretory in nature, and they are regarded to the homologous to the respiratory tree of the holothurians. Means in holothuria, the respiratory tree is there. It is regarded as a what, that is a homologous organ, which is homologous to the respiratory tree of holothurians. But the real function of it is uncertain. That is regarding the intestine. And after intestine, the next part, that is the what? The rectum. The part of intestine that the distal to the ceca is sometimes called as a rectum, and histologically the digestive tract resembles the body wall and continues with the peristomial membrane. The wall of digestive tract exhibits tall epidermis followed by well-developed layer, subepidermal nervous tissue and connective tissue layer from which the ossicles have disappeared. Means this is the portion of the rectum where the what, the ossicles are absent. In this structure, the what, these are the what, the body or the upper surface, it having these ossicles and the spine. But at this region of the rectum and the what, the opening where the anus is there, the what, the ossicles are lacking or absent. So it forms a opening, and that opening we called it as a what, the anus. So this is the last part, that is a rectum, and the opening which is present on the aboral surface, that we called it as a anus. Then food of the sea star or the starfish. The sea star is a carnivorous and voracious creature that it feeds continuously, and it feeds on variety of sedentary or attached marine animals that cannot run away. Means it feeds on the what, sedentary, which are remain at one place or attached to the substratum. They feed on such organism and cannot run away and are easily captured, such as the oysters or bivalves, calms, mussels, snails, and the crustaceans or tube-dwelling worms. Other echinoderms and even small fish also. Means it can feed on the other echinoderms and the small fish also. Many of them are the scavengers, means feeding on the dead and decaying organisms. Deep water sea stars ingest mud, while others feed on dead or injured animals and even attack other living sea stars and sea urchins. Asterias is highly destructive to the oyster beds. Why? Because it mainly feeds on the what? Oysters or the bivalves that are important for the pearl industry. Then this is the what the digestive system you can observe. This is on the aboral surface, that is the anus. On the oral surface there is a what the mouth, and the what that is after mouth there is a esophagus, then cardiac stomach, and the what that is a pyloric stomach. These are the what that is a pyloric ceca. All this is the structure. That then this is a diagram which showing the what entire what that is the digestive system starting from the mouth. Then this part is a human, that is the esophagus, then cardiac stomach, then pyloric stomach. And this pyloric stomach it runs into the what that is a radially into the what that is and forms a pyloric ceca. And then next to that, this is the intestine. This is the intestinal ceca or the rectal ceca. And then last one is the rectum, and where the ossicles are absent and there is an opening, that part we called it as a anus. So this is the what complete digestive system in the what the sea star. This is the sea star which is feeding on the what that is the oysters. Then feeding mechanism in the sea star, the nourishment is obtained in the most unusual manner. Smaller animals can be directly swallowed or engulfed through the mouth into the stomach. When sea star comes across a mussel or the bivalve, it arches over it in a humped up position or in a umbrella fashion. Means when it captures any food, it shows the what that is a humped position like this, or that we have earlier said this is the humped position like that. Here is the oyster and it shows the what that is a, it shows the hump position like this. And then next to this, the what? The two feet with their sucker from one arm attached to one valve of the prey shell, and those from another arm onto the other valve. Means it by the two arms or with the help of the two arms, it attaches to the two walls of the bivalvia or the muscle, and then sea star exerts steady pull so that to draw the two walls of that animal or the bivalvia apart. The muscle has very powerful set, or muscle means what? That is the bivalvia. It having the powerful set of muscles which close the shell, but the continuous pull is exerted by the sea star, and if these two arms get fatigued, then what the next arms are applied on the bivalvia, so that what happens, the what if the prey is large, it may resist pull for some time, and the sea star can use numerous tube feet in relays or one by one, and that is why when one arm get tired, it is put to rest while one another arm is used, and so on, and so that it kills the what, it becomes successful to open the two walls of the bivalvia and kill the bivalvia, and after that it engulfs the muscles or it feeds on the muscles of this bivalvia. This bivalvia has no second set of muscles to be employed for resistance, and therefore, according to well-known principle, a muscle cannot maintain continuous state of contraction for longer time. So, sooner or later, the muscles or adductor muscles of the muscle or the bivalvia, it gets exhausted and finally relax, and so that the shell opens, and after that the what it feeds on that. There is some evidence that these bivalvia or the calm is weakened by secretion of the sea star, but some workers believe that the sustained pull alone overcomes the calm resistance. As the sea star keeps a muscle under its mouth, The contraction of its muscles exerts pressure on the coelomic fluid so that its peristome is forced out and the cardiac stomach is partially turned inside mouth through the mouth. As the shell of the muscle gapes, the everted cardiac stomach of the sea star is inserted immediately into the mantle cavity and wrapped about the flesh or soft parts of the body of the bivalve. So in this way, this starfish it feeds on the what is bivalve. The next is the digestion. The digestion in this sea star is both intracellular as well as extracellular. The stomach and the pyloric cica secretes what? Several digestive enzymes like the proteases or lipases and amylases. As the prey is enveloped by the arms, the powerful digestive juices are poured on it to digest the muscle in its own shell. The digestive enzyme convert the protein into diffusible peptones, starch into the simple sugars or maltose, and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Then, when the digestion is partially complete, the sea star withdraws its stomach along with the digested food by means of retractor muscle and moves on, leaving behind the shell of the victim. Means it releases the shell of the victim outside the body. The remaining digestion is completed inside the stomach and the pyloric cica. Then amoebocytes are abundant in the lumen of digestive system and the cells of the pyloric cica are the phagocytic and therefore in the sea star or asterias the digestion is of both the type one is that is the intracellular as well as extracellular. The amoebocytes it helps in the intracellular digestion. When the digested food is absorbed to the walls of the digestive tract into the coelom and get distributed to all parts of the body. Most of the undigested matter is ejected through the mouth and very little of any matter passes out of the anus. Means through the anus very little undigested matter is passed away. Little or no absorption seems to take place in short intestine due to the habit of sea star of ingesting food that has been partially digested by the cardiac stomach. The sea star has very low digestive waste to ingest out through the anus because when it evolves the what the cardiac stomach it releases the undigested matter outside the body and this accounts for very small intestine and very small anal aperture in sea star. A small prey may be wholly swallowed into stomach and its shell later rejected through the mouth. So in this way the digestion is completed and the fecal matter or the undigested matter which is in the very small quantities these are released outside the body of the what that is a sea star by the what the last opening which is present toward the aboral end that we called it as a anus. This is whole about the what that is a digestive system in Asterias. Thank you.